So a few months ago, I figured out how to teach myself perfect pitch, and I thought I was schizophrenic for a really long time, but it's been about 6 months, and I can hear that the trunk of a Jeep Grand Cherokee rings out a B when it's beeping. So I think it works pretty well. I don't know. Why would I choose to remember that? You tell me. So I made another video on this 6 months ago when I figured it out, and that was just a big ramble. I didn't really put any thought into the organization of that. I'm going to direct you to it here because I don't want to repeat everything that I said, but it is worth watching. I'm just going to summarize what this does and how you can get it as fast as possible. From here on out, I'm going to be using intervallic terminology as well as some regular music theory stuff. So if I say anything that trips you up, just Google the definition of it and you should be fine. A couple other things you need to know. This is definitely a skill that you need to practice and retain. It's kind of like sweep picking on guitar. You need to do it every day, otherwise it's going to go away and not work as well. Another thing I've noticed is it's almost completely subconscious if you practice it enough, and that's a really big deal because you shouldn't be able to teach yourself a subconscious function. That's kind of absolutely insane. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I took 2 psychology classes and I failed both of them, but this seems like something that's worth paying attention to. I can also hear when a note is in between 2 notes that I'm familiar with. So a lot of times you'll hear things ringing out in between F and F sharp, and I can tell which note it's closer to, but I couldn't give you like an actual estimate of the hertz. That's some nerd shit. And then this last part is really interesting, and it's actually going to make me sound schizophrenic, but if you've experienced this too, drop a comment because a lot of people were talking on the last video. When I'm focused, I can almost fully separate the auditory shapes of pitches in the same way that I can see different colors. It's almost like an enhancement of the sense, because it's pretty easy to hear things that are different directions around you in different volumes, but when you're able to hear the shape of the waveform for every note, then you have an entirely different experience with your own ears, and it gives life so much more meaning. And I know that's like that's a lot, but I truly don't know how to describe it. Maybe I'm just a huge fucking nerd. I want to make this something that most musicians can learn and access just because it's given me a lot more joy when playing music and just doing everyday things. Like in a lot of Walmarts, they got like a C ringing on the cash register, but then the doors beep it a G sharp, so it makes like a... So that's why everyone's always fighting in Walmart. I need to go double check that though. I'm pulling up a YouTube video real quick. Do they ever go to the checkout, bro? I'm literally gonna go to Walmart for this video to find out what those notes are. I think it's C and G sharp, dude. I haven't been to Walmart in like 6 months, but I remember that it's an augmented fifth. Like, yo, I legitimately sound schizophrenic right now. This is so funny, dude. We were not playing. We're going to Walmart. That last note was a B. Hold up. Yeah, dude. That is on-camera proof that this works. Thank God. Oh my goodness. So first things first, you can sing internally. You can perceive notes inside your head and produce them without making any noise. Just think about it. It's not really something people talk about, but it's definitely something that everybody can do. The only real skill that you need to learn with this is memorizing the note B. If you can produce that note in your head and then check the intervals around it, then you're completely set. These are the intervals that I use to navigate figuring out a pitch that I couldn't just hear. You want to pull the B from your memory, and then from there, what I'll do to check if I don't know the note just by hearing it, I'll internally sing through this set of arpeggios. I'll start with a B major 7 arpeggio from the B. So B, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. And then from that A sharp, I'll go to B. So, and then from there, I'll slide up to a C. And then go through a C major 7 arpeggio. From there, you've checked 8 out of 12 notes, and honestly for me, I just memorized the other 4 and what they sounded like and associated them with a song that I liked that was in that key. The reason I do songs within keys rather than melodies is because it's easier to tonicize and check with a more complicated melody. And if you can just hear that it's in key, which is a lot easier than hearing the actual name of a note, then you're doing a lot less work. And it's just as functional. It just takes a little bit of mental flexibility. The only reason I was really able to even figure any of this stuff out is because of going to music college. Shout out Belmont. I met these two dudes, Preston Dawson and Mitch Gorman there, and the three of us single-handedly kind of came up with all of this stuff, and it definitely is capable of advancing like all of musical perception for everybody. But if Belmont snatches this and then like coins it like the Belmont system, bro, I'm gonna be so pissed. Like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Yeah, but all that being said, shout out Mitch and Preston for helping all of us revolutionize all of music casually. How the fuck did that happen? I don't